Between 2016 and 2017, Archaeological Consultancy Services Unit undertook archaeological investigations in advance of the construction of the realignment of the N55 road in County Cavan, which extends from Corduff to south of Killydoon. My name is Gallagher, and I directed the excavations on this road scheme, which included investigating about 1/3 of a known ringfort or settlement enclosure in the townland of Garrymore. This site is located south of Ballina, where the existing N55 has a sharp bend. The eastern side of the enclosure was removed sometime before the early 19th century, when the predecessor to the existing road was built. Before any digging commenced at the site, the greenfield areas on either side of the existing road were subject to a geophysical survey. This successfully detected the extent of a bank defining the circular enclosure, as well as internal features that indicated pits and areas of burning. LiDAR imaging and hand-excavated test trenches also confirmed the presence of a single ditch outside the bank, as well as helping us determine the depth of topsoil in this area. Open area excavation of the site commenced in December 2016. Scientific analysis of the results tell us how this landscape was occupied between the 10th and 12th centuries AD. When the ringfort was first built, roughly 1,000 years ago, the landscape consisted of open pasture land, while the analysis of charcoal provided evidence for nearby oak woodlands that may have been managed by the people living here. Excavation revealed that the ditch was U-shaped along the southern side, but more V-shaped on the northern side. It averaged 1.8 metres in depth, and the surviving width varied from 4 metres on the southern side to up to 5.5 metres on the northern side. When this ditch was initially dug, they placed the excavated soil along the inside edge, ultimately building up a bank that was up to 8.5 metres in width. During excavation, it was possible to detect up to 9 different layers of material used to build up the bank. Creating this ditch and bank represented a substantial amount of labour. Indeed, the ditch had also been recut at least twice, showing that the inhabitants made an effort to keep it clean and open during the lifetime of the settlement. The interior of the enclosure revealed lots of evidence for where the people lived and worked. Structure A continued beyond the limit of the excavation area, but was identifiable by the presence of a stone-lined hearth and a compact stone surface, suggesting a working area around the hearth. Over 3 metres to the west was Structure B, which would have consisted of an arc of 8 posts open to the west. This probably represents a small shelter, windbreak or screen with a diameter of nearly 3 metres. 3 pit kilns were also recorded within the ringfort. The largest was over 3 metres long and formed a rough figure-of-8 shape. The base and sides of the northern end were oxidised, suggesting a fire had been lit here. The fill was rich in charcoal, identified as alder and hazelwood. Another pit kiln, over 5 metres southwest of Structure B, was 1 metre long and more rectangular in shape. It contained a charcoal-rich fill and residues from ironworking, suggesting this may have been a smithing hearth or an area where the waste from manufacturing and repairing iron objects was dumped. Here you can see the outline of the ringfort ditch and the location of the excavated features concentrated in the eastern half of the interior. The excavations at Garrymore Ringfort have told us a lot about those living here during the early medieval period. The landscape would have been green fields, as it is today, with analysis of charred seeds indicating that they were growing oats, barley and rye. Livestock would also have been grazing around the Ringfort, with the recovery of animal remains suggesting cattle farming. Today, the western half of the Ringfort remains preserved for future archaeologists, while the discoveries made in the footprint of the N55 road provide a glimpse of what life was like here 1,000 years ago.